This happened to me yesterday and is a little different from most of the stories on here. A rather elderly lady came up to me in Target and asked me where the cereal was. I politely told her I didn't work there, which should have been obvious, given that I was wearing blue, not the Target red plus khakis, but pointed her a couple of aisles over. She apologized very sincerely and went on her way. However, as she passed me, I noticed that her cart already had some cereal in it. I thought that was a little strange, but didn't say anything. I kept shopping and passed by her in the cereal aisle, at which point she stopped me and asked me where the soup was. I took a quick glance in her basket and noticed it had some soup in it already. At this point, I realized she probably has Alzheimer's or some other kind of memory loss, and decided to just help her get through her shopping. We had to put a few items back, but got through it without too much difficulty. When we got to the front of the store to check out, a young lady in a non-Target green uniform came running up to her and asked where she had been. I explained the situation and she calmed down a bit and explained that she was the driver for the retirement community and had been waiting for the elderly lady I was assisting so she could pay and get back to the community. She took over from there and I went back and finished up my shopping. It was an interesting day. I just hope that in the future they don't let her shop alone. Edit. Wow. This was a lot more popular than I expected. Thank you so much for all the awards. I'll try and thank all of you individually if I can get logged in on my computer. It's sad to me that helping out others is considered so unusual for so many of us, but I hope you all go out and do some good today anyway. Today, I went into Asda for a few things, milk, bread and such like, when I heard the harumphing of an approaching Karen. I decide not to look round in case she has targeted someone else, but no such luck, as a sharp jab in the shoulder tells me otherwise. Why aren't you paying attention? I've been asking you to help me for 5 minutes. Bullshit, she's just arrived. I turn to her and give the best for fuck's sake face I can muster, and reply with the old idol. I then give a couple of other faces, as I see a manager approaching, and realize that the opportunity to do something mean has all but effectively disappeared. Instead, I point to the manager and tell her to speak to him. The manager looks at me and asks, "Is she bothering you too?" That tells me that somebody else, maybe even several other people, has complained about her. I nod. Before the Karen can open her mouth, the manager asks her if she can see what I'm wearing, and how my gray shorts and blue t-shirt don't match the black trousers and green polo shirt that the staff wear, to which she replies, "Of course I can." The manager then asks, "So you are definitely not visually impaired?" "Blind," says the Karen. "Of course I'm not blind. I can see what he's wearing, but I want him fired for not helping me, and why did you ask if I'm blind, anyway?" "Well, I reckon that if you can't tell that he is a customer and clearly not a member of staff," says the manager, gesturing at me, "that you are either blind, stupid or mad. And you're not blind." The Karen just went beetroot red, and stormed off. Best manager I've met in ages. Stopped for coffee in Montana, wore a mask in the truck stop because I still do when inside even though nobody else does. Older woman rushes up to me as I stir my coffee and declares, "The ladies' restroom is a disgrace." I replied, "Well, that's ladies for you. They just can't keep things tidy." She gawped and said, "Aren't you going to clean it?" And I said, "No, I don't give a shit if the women's restroom is dirty." She went quite red, stared some more and rushed off to the manager who had to tell her twice that I did not work there. Wearing a mask equals working at the business now, I guess. Edit. I originally posted this in Truckers and someone suggested posting it here. Also, I didn't really clue into the situation until she demanded I begin cleanup operations, and finally, I thought of a whole bunch of better things to say long after the encounter, naturally. Like, why don't you go complain to someone who's paid to listen? But alas, it was too late. Thank you for all of the comments. I'm glad you all had a chuckle. I used to work for a large pet store chain, for over 3 years. I got to know the customers well, but when a new store manager showed up, he destroyed the store and I was one of the first to jump ship after he gave a my way or highway speech. Shortly after I quit, I needed to go to that store for live insects, food for my lizard, and they were literally the only store in town that carried live. I was walking down to the back to pick them up, looking at the disastrous state of the store and multiple people looking for help, when one regular customer who used to annoy the crap out of me pointed at me, at least 20 feet away, and yelled, "You work here?" I yelled back, "Nope," and kept walking. Was the best feeling ever. Edit, typos. I worked to-go orders for Applebee's this summer, and whenever I got my hour break, I would usually go to the next door mall and read inside Barnes & Noble. This mall is practically dead, most shops moved or closed down, but it still has B&N, a movie theater, and a Bath & Body Works, both of which are on the other side of the mall. Because of this, and of course Rona, the mall access store in B&N is not available. Back to the story. I am reading in the section by the former access store when your typical Karen walks by. She was clearly planning to use the door, but then sees the giant sign saying that it was unavailable. She gets angry and starts causing a fuss, and I started to feel bad for the Bath & Body Works employees who would be seeing her in a bit. She then turns and starts yelling at me, "This is ridiculous, why would you guys even shut down that entrance?" Now, I'm still wearing my jeans and Applebee's t-shirt, so I don't know why she would think I worked there. I had already been yelled at by rude customers that morning, and I was definitely going to deal with even more that night, so I decided to have my one little moment of glory. I look her dead in the eyes, point to the very large Applebee's logo on my shirt, and ask, "Are you fucking dyslexic?" She proceeds to flip me off, stomp away, and I got back to reading my book. It wasn't much, but it felt good to me. I used to work at a Costco that was located right up the driveway from a Walmart. My shifts were late, and Walmart is really the only place open after 11 p.m. Anyway, I head in wearing a collared shirt and jeans, do my shopping, and get stopped by another customer asking where the automotive section is. I point them to it, but they keep asking questions, and I inform them I do not work there. They insist I do. I take out my name tag and show them. They still don't get it. I explain very clearly that I work at Costco and that they are currently in Walmart. Still get a blank look. Not sure what to do, I left them there and only later began to suspect they may have been on drugs.